Macmillan Audio presents Jeeves and the Wedding Bells by Sebastian Faulks. Read for you by Julian Rhind-Tutt.
Author's Note. This book is intended as a tribute, from me, and on behalf of any others who don't think it falls too lamentably short of the mark, to P.G. Wodehouse. A thank you for all the pleasure his work has given. I have been reading him with joy and admiration for almost half a century. I am no expert or mastermind on things Wodehousian. I am just a fan. The great man's descendants hope, I know, that a new novel may help to bring the characters of Jeeves and Bertie to a younger readership. That lucky group of people who have yet to open The Mating Season or Right-Ho Jeeves. I hope so too, and I envy them the joys that lie in store. To the old hands, meanwhile, I would say only this, that yes, I did understand the size of what I had taken on, and yes, it was as hard as I expected. Wodehouse's prose is a glorious thing. And there's the rub. I didn't want to write too close an imitation of that distinctive music for fear of sounding flat or sharp. Nor did I want to drift into parody. What I therefore tried to do was give people who haven't read the Jeeves books a sense of what they sound like, while for those who know them well, I tried to provide a nostalgic variation, in which a memory of the real thing provides the tune, and these pages perhaps a line of harmony. I would like to thank Gillen Aitken, Peter Strauss, Jocasta Hamilton, Keith Carler, and Gail Rebuck for easing it all into print, and Edward Cazalet, P.G. Wodehouse's step-grandson, for his encouragement. I hope that readers of this story will be encouraged to go back to the peerless originals, and thence to a brighter world. Sebastian Faulks, November 2013. To the memory of P.G. Wodehouse, and for all those who have laughed at and treasured his books.
Chapter 1. I was woken in the middle of the night by what sounded like a dozen metal dustbins being chucked down a flight of steps. After a moment of floundering in the darkness, I put my hand on the source of the infernal noise, the twin copper bells on top of a large alarm clock. There followed a brief no-holds-barred wrestling bout before I was able to shove the wretched thing beneath the mattress. It was a panting and lightly perspiring B. Wooster, who then consulted his wristwatch to find that it was in fact 6 o'clock, the appointed hour at which I was to throw off the bonds of slumber and rise to tackle my new duties. This was a dashed sight harder than it sounds. Easing the person to an even semi-recumbent position caused pains to shoot across the small of the back. Whoever had designed the palliasse on which I had lain these 7 hours had clearly been of the opinion that nature's sweet restorer, as I have heard Jeeves call it, can get the job done in 5-minute bursts. It required a steadying grip on the bedstead before I could cross the bare boards and don the dressing-gown. It's possible that a sharp-eared observer might have heard a few groans as, sponge-bag in hand, I headed down the passageway towards the servants' bathroom. Mercifully, I seemed to be the first to the ablutions. Hot water came from a geyser in a boiling trickle over the bath, but in the basin the H&C taps might more accurately have been labelled cold and frozen. It was a haggard Bertram who stared back from the glass as he plied the morning steel and sponged the outlying portions. I dried off with a strip of material less like a towel than a yard of well-used sandpaper. It's funny how quickly one gets used to certain things in life. At school we had been compelled, on pain of 6 of the juiciest, to keep a keen eye on our kit and know at all times whether socks, grey, 6 pairs, and footer bags.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?